Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to run Denise. Now Denise is an emulator for both the Commodore 64 and the Amiga computers, but I'm just going to be covering the 64 part today because that's all I've really been playing. So first things first, we're going to need a copy of Denise, and we're also going to need some games to play on it, and we're going to grab those from itch.io. Now, don't worry about making a note of the links, I'll provide those underneath the video in the description. So just click on that little more button, and then you can cut and paste them into your web browser of choice. Right, so let's go ahead and grab the software we require. So from the Denise SourceForge page, just come over here to this Files tab, click on that. And we can see that the latest version is here, and this is the one I actually require. You can see it says Denise Win64 because it's for a 64-bit operating system. That's what I've got. But if you don't, for example, you can always click down here on the 207 on the version and grab yourself a Windows 32-bit version or the Apple version or even the Linux Ubuntu version. So choice is up to you, but there you go. I'm going to grab this, so I'm just going to click on it, wait, and it's already started downloading. Oh, that was really quick actually. So let's go ahead and grab a game. So we'll go over to itch.io and I'm going to do a search for Bruce Lee. The version I'm after is this Duology. Okay, scroll down and hit download. And that's downloaded as well. Right, now that the downloads are complete, we can now extract the contents of the files we downloaded, and I'm going to be using WinRAR to do that. You can use any extraction software of choice that you prefer, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to just extract the contents right here onto the desktop for convenience. So just double click on that. There we go. So there's Denise. And now let's just grab the game. Pop that there as well. Brilliant stuff. Okay. And we can now get rid of this. Now we can launch Denise. So we just go into the folder and click on the executable. Right, and we're ready to go. Now, Commodore 64 emulation has quite a few different file types. There's a D64 here, which I think stands for disk, and this one here is a CRT. Now what I've noticed with this emulator is you just can't grab D64 files over. It just doesn't seem to work. I'll just show you. Look. Normally on something like Vice, it would launch and there'd be no issue. It seems to get stuck here. I don't know if it's, you have to wait. If it's a full emulation thing, you have to wait for 10 minutes for it to launch. But who's got time for that? So we're not going to do that. However, if you've got a CRT file, you can just drag it over, and I'll just do a quick hard reset here, just to show you the example. CRT file, and it's launched. Right, let's get rid of that. If you do want to launch a D64 file, what you've got to do is this. So go here, go to Load Software, and search for it. So you really need to create a folder and put all your files in so you don't have to keep searching all over your computer. But this is just an example. Here's what I've got on my desktop. So here's the D64 file, and when we hit VDT Auto Start, not this one because it doesn't work. Well, it hasn't worked for me anyway. So anyway, let's click on that. Give it a second. Right, so we're in, but first of all, let's actually stop this because we need to configure a few more things. Right, so obviously you're going to want to play your game using a controller of some description, and that's going to need some setting up. So we do that by hitting this control tab and coming down here to C64 configuration. Now I'm using an Xbox 360 controller that I've got plugged into the back of my PC, so make sure you've got your controller actually plugged in. Now to actually assign buttons, what you need to do is the following. Come here to this little peripheral drop down. Obviously I'm using joypad 1, but you can see it emulates a whole bunch of other things as well. So if you've got paddles, you can emulate those. But I'm going to stick, as I say, to joypad number 1. And then you would change it right here. Actually, let me delete some of these so I can show you, which is handy if you've made a mistake. If you've ever made a mistake sort of assigning controllers, just erase them. Anyway, double click. And I'm going to press up on my analog stick on my Xbox 360 controller. So double click, and there you go. Again for down, double click, down. This usually lasts about a second, so be quick. In fact, I'll show you again. I'll just do another erase. Double click. I should press up now. Up. I've pressed up now, too late. Double click again. There you go. That's how you do it. Right, so once you've finished assigning buttons, we can now get rid of this. Come to Options and Save Preferences, so you don't have to do that again. Right, here's a quick edit. Before you actually save your preferences, come to Control, select port 1 or 2, whichever one you've been configuring, and change this from unassigned to joypad or whatever device you've actually configured, because if you don't do that, all of the hard work configuring your controllers isn't going to work because obviously it's unassigned. So remember to do that first before saving your preferences. Now we can go back to the important business of playing games. So I'm just going to grab this CRT file of Bruce Lee, drag it over, select the classic, press F1 for one player, and here we are in game. I think you'll agree it's very simple, very easy, and anybody can get this running. If you do have any questions, hit me up in the comment section down below. One other thing I should mention before I forget, if you need that run stop key, couldn't find anything in the documentation, maybe I didn't look too hard, but it's the escape key. But apart from that, all I can suggest is you go out, grab this, download a few games and enjoy.